Everybody loves a trip to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and for the 1UP Nitro National Series, this is their time. For 67 laps around this high-speed, mile-and-a-half high-banked oval for the running of the Desert Jewel 300. Alongside me in the booth today is Duke Gansack for today's race at Las Vegas, and with an updated rules package, this is going to be a very interesting race. A lot of high-speed pack racing, not much room for error, and a lot of lead changes. What could possibly go wrong here today?
So much could go wrong for so many people that are vying for playoff spots, and you're right. This has been a highly anticipated race with a new rules package. From what we've seen in practice, it's been absolutely incredible, and we don't expect anything different for the race today. So these drivers are going to be they're going to have to be high alert today, and they're going to have to make sure that they are watching every single move they make, because there's always going to be somebody there with them trying to capitalize, and that's the best kind of racing, in my opinion, when people have to work for it, and you have to pay attention for this whole thing to try to make it happen.
So with a one-stop race on the cards for today, everybody's going to have to pit at least once, and that could be the cause of trouble, especially when running in a massive pack of 42 cars strong. As we now look at the starting lineup for today's 67-lap race, Patrick Smith gets pole position in his Monster Motorsports Dodge, with Aaron Hall alongside. Those two are both vying for playoff spots at the moment. Miles Mashburn and Todd Hemler, they're not really worried about playoff spots, but they line up on row 2, along with Alexa Luchon running at the top 5. But honestly, at Las Vegas, and especially with this new package, qualifying doesn't mean much. You can make it from the back to the front very easily, and likewise, you can go from the front to the back just as easily. So, a lot of jostling for position, but I have a feeling a lot of these cars are going to be really strong here today.
You're right. The winner could come from anywhere in this field. Honestly, we could see somebody come all the way from the back and win this thing. And in fact, these people that started up front can't feel too safe. They could fall all the way to the back by the end of this race. So it is going to be an intense race all day. All these drivers are going to be they're going to be on top of their game. They're going to have to be if they want to have a shot to win it. And of course, that pit stop in there is going to bring the crews into it as well. So. Man, oh man, if we could get some green flag pit stops today, that would be a lot of fun, and we'll see how it goes, but I sure am excited to see how it turns out.
So with that being said, all 42 cars are lined up on the grid, and we are ready to bring you 67 heart-pounding laps from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This is the 1UP Nitro National Series from Sin City, and the green flag is mere moments away, so stay tuned, because you're not going to want to miss a second of the action to come over the next 67 laps. With Patrick Smith on the inside, Aaron Hall on the outside, the field of 42 rolls off of turn 4 into the restart zone. The green flag is now in the air, and the second to last race of the regular season is underway. Patrick Smith gets a good launch off the line. Goforth sure didn't. From 7th, he's going to maybe let his teammate Zachary DeLello into line as the field barrels off into turn 1, climbing up to top speed. It's going to take quite a while to get there, though. Might even take a full lap to get up to top speed, as Patrick Smith holds the lead over Miles Mashburn, with Alexa Luchon right behind the inside line with a magical start off the line.
Yeah, on the very start right there, the outside lane got a really good jump other than the 04, and they were all lined up pretty well until they got down into turn 1, when they all kind of swapped down to that bottom lane. And it's happening again here, where you see the 72 and the 04, they were running up top down the straightaway, using up all the track off the corner. And then they go down low in the corner, and here comes 72 on the bottom, going for the lead.
The first of what I can only imagine will be many lead changes this afternoon, as Miles Mashburn takes the lead. Remember, he won at Chicagoland earlier this season, a track shaped very similar to this, but it races extremely differently from what we've seen so far in this race. As the field rockets through turns 1 and 2, you barely lift your foot off the gas here. You can get up to 200 miles per hour easily at the end of the straights, as Mashburn leads DeLello and Denoto through 3 and 4, as they're 3 wide for third. Ooh. Caggiano on the inside, going to clear Cody Goforth, and the field settles back down to double file.
Yeah, this is going to be quite a fascinating race. I'm not sure exactly which line is going to be preferred here. I'd say probably the bottom, considering it's significantly shorter around the track. And here comes that 03 along the bottom. Zachary DeLello going for the lead over Miles Mashburn here. Looks like he might have a chance to get it, even though Miles Mashburn has a little bit closer help on the top, but there's nobody behind those two, so DeLello leads that lap. and with his teammate behind him looking really good right now, the 03 and the 01 in a solid position right here.
Yeah, and DeLello needs as many points as he can because he has a chance to lock up a playoff spot today if he finishes well enough. And wouldn't that be something for the second-year driver to make the playoffs for the first time? He's led one lap already, and he's getting ready to lead a second one. DeLello off of turn 4, he's going to be well clear of the pack, and he will lead lap number 5. But now we got some new challengers in the front. Logan Williams in the 23, Hayes Green in the 51. He will be moving teams next season from the 51 over to the Incendia Motorsports 83 car for next year, but he wants to prove he's a good driver already, but he's gets put in the middle 3 wide by Alex Vergeperud with Nicky Martinez pushing him.
Yeah, that was a great move from the 3 car right there, and the 51 might be able to squeeze in front of that top lane. Oh, it's stuck on the bottom, in the middle maybe. Oh, definitely going to be clear right there. And now the 25 going to the bottom of the 3. The 03 is loving all this action. Zachary DeLello, he is just having a great time out front, watching everybody swap positions behind him because nobody has been able to get up there to challenge him quite yet since he took the lead. Oh, this is about to change, though. He spoke a little bit too soon. They're side by side. Just barely. The 25 got low of him, and now it's going to have perfect position into the corner with the help from the 54, and there's a new leader. It's the 25 car has passed the 03.
Yeah, DeLello, I think, at the start-finish line tried to cut off Martinez's path, but she already had a fender alongside, as we're 3 wide once again, this time for about 6th spot. How about David Byers in this 27 car? He's making a move over the offseason to Phantom Fury Motorsports. He's having a career day so far in this 27 car. Yet to finish in the top 10 in his career, he's now running 7th, even though he's stuck in the middle 3 wide, with Glenn Mixon to his inside, who's also changing teams. We got a lot of silly season activity in the past week, but all the action right now is on the track as Eric Monaco puts Dylan Young 3 wide.
Man, oh man, 3 wide for the lead. You don't see that very often anywhere, but here it's just going to be how it is today at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. An incredible battle right here. I can't believe that they haven't had to get closer. 3 wide seems to be a little bit tough around these corners, especially with everybody still kind of going to the bottom in the corners and then wanting to go all the way up on the straightaway. They've done a really good job to not make any contact with each other.
So Eric Monaco leads this race. He started back in 27th, and after just 10 laps, he's found the lead. What a run from the 73 team. They have yet to go to victory lane in their career, and after William Brock gave them a historic win at Bristol in the Superstar Series, they're looking to add some success to the Nitro National Series to their resume. And Eric Monaco is leading that charge right now, leading a single-file train of about 6 cars, with Tyler Ferris directly behind him. Remember, Ferris had a little incident at Bristol last week. He's looking for redemption here. Glenn Mixon looking to impress his new bosses over at Finish Line Motorsports. A lot of stories to go over the course of these 67 laps, and we're already entering lap 12.
Yeah, this is probably the best way to be leading this race right now, is in front of a single file line. As you can see, from this awesome shot we have, the momentum of that line is just going to kind of push you along, and you're able to be in front of them the whole time because there's no real challenge from any other lane. So you're able to just block and block and block and never get past from the front, as long as you don't make any mistakes with your blocking. So right now, single file being ahead is the best place to be. Now we see one jump out back there. It's the 86 car going for third place. Yep. So that's a good move right there. It's going to put advance 86 up into third place and knock that 34 to the outside lane, and see you later. A few spots to go before anybody else is out there.
Now the Genesis Engineering cars run 1-3 with Tyler Ferris in the middle. What I think Eric Monaco wants to see, I was going to say he wanted to see AJ Jones duck to his inside, but now they're teamed up on the outside of the racetrack because Tyler Ferris and Ricky Freeman Jr. put them on the outside with help from John McFadden in the 76. We talked earlier about his teammate David Byers. Both of the BTV Motorsports cars spending some time at the front now, as McFadden makes a move for second in the Tag Heuer Chevrolet.
Yeah, like we were talking about in the pre-race, McFadden started in 41st in this race, and then the 57 behind him started in 38th. So, already we're 15 laps into this race, and they have driven up to the front from the back. No pit stop needed, and they are right here racing for the lead. So, this race far from over. a lot of drivers still in contention. As long as you're part of this pack, you are in contention to win this race.
Yeah, John McFadden just led his first career lap in the One Up Nitro National Series. That is an impressive feat for him. He did win the pole at the season opener in Pensacola, but did not lead on that day. But here comes Terzic in the 57. After a strong second-place result at Bristol, he's looking to grab that first career win, but he gets pushed up to the high side in favor of Nathan Meyer in the number 5. He started this race back in 32nd. So a lot of drivers making their way from the back to the front, as well as Lilith Onyx in that 36. She started 16th. Austin Holloman in the 59. He started 28. So a lot of big guys we don't see at the front very often making their way to the front right now.
Yeah, this is just going to be a very fascinating dynamic for the rest of this race, because we're going to have this type of thing where everybody's kind of getting to the front and then sliding up to the outside, using all the track you can like the 36 does. But now the 59 will have a run, just as happened for most of the leaders. There's only been one guy that was able to stay out there in front of everybody, but for now the 59 goes to the bottom, takes the lead, followed by the 98, and then I'm sure that it'll be similar down the back straightaway with the 59. Oh, in fact, they're not even going to wait till the back straightaway. The 98's going to the bottom now. So here is that 03 again, Zachary DeLello. He's the guy that was able to maintain the lead in front of 2 lanes earlier in this race. So far in today's race, I think Zachary DeLello might have the car to beat. We'll see if that proves true, as he's trying to take the lead right here again for the second time in this race.
See, Santiago Alvarez, he started this race in 36. He's now took the lead for a lap before Zachary DeLello takes it back, with help from Rasha Mahendra in the 6. A strong run for the Indonesian driver from Motor Dash Racing, and now Mahendra makes a move for the lead on DeLello. This is the battle for the lead, with help from David Byers and Kenneth Grant. A lot of surprises up in this lead group, but they're just putting on a big show for everybody at Las Vegas. We're already about a third of the way through this race.
Yeah, we've got a new leader just about every single lap here with the way that this is kind of cycling through. The 56 is going to stay to the bottom there, probably the better move, considering that's where all the passes for the lead keep happening. We'll see what happens down the straightaway here, though. Yep, goes straight to the top, and now the 53 is going to get a big push on the bottom, a little bit of a side draft right there, and move right into the lead. So yet again, that bottom lane has prevailed. I would, if I was out there, I would be saying that we should really be staying on the bottom down the back straightaway and not letting anybody get low. But here we are again. Keon Bailey now goes to the bottom, and the 53 is going to fall back to second place and probably farther. So this is just an incredible situation where we've got a new leader every couple of corners.
The problem, though, with staying on that bottom, as Autumn Coker makes a move for the lead, remember she's going Superstar Series racing next year. The problem with running the bottom the entire way around is that it just cuts off your corner exit off of 2 and 4, and you really have to slow down to maintain that corner exit. So washing up to the top of the racetrack might be the viable way to go, even if it means losing a few spots. As we see Kyle Corbett now on the inside, he's going to have to find a new home for next year, as Robbers Racing changes their driver lineup once again. And how about the 2 Full Frontal Motorsports teammates? AF Walsh in the 42, Kasim Adnan in the 1. These two are working well together. They've started pretty deep in the field. I believe Walsh started 20th and Adnan 35th. So these two have found each other quickly, and they're making their way to the front. 2 powerful Dodges.
Yeah, that's how I'd want to handle this this race. I'd want to find a teammate and kind of ride with them. A lot of, when you're all out there by yourself kind of racing, while it might be a lot easier to decide to make certain moves, and of course they're going to split each other up right there. Oh, maybe they won't. But, I think that it's better to have a buddy out there, somebody that you can definitely trust to stay behind you and push. And then maybe if they can take the lead, they'll be able to kind of hold it at bay with nobody coming from behind. We'll see what happens, though.
Here they come, going for the lead. And I was going to mention Kasim Adnan in this one car had a lot of trouble getting on their way to the racetrack. Their windshield didn't pass inspection at first. They had to borrow a blank one from another team. That's why you don't see his name on the windshield here tonight. But as things stand right now, the 2 teammates go side by side, and Kasim Adnan takes the lead of the race. But for how much longer is the question, because here comes Aaron Hall on the bottom.
Yeah, stuck in the middle right there. Really tough situation, getting side drafted from both sides. His teammate is going to let him in. But yeah, Aaron Hall now is taking the lead, and it's not going to be for long. A 50 car of Alexa Lucian on the bottom right there is going to try to take the lead. And we've got some heavy hitters coming up in this bottom lane right here. You got the 50, the 18, the 11, and the 8 all kind of lined up right there, ready to pounce and take the lead here in the next couple of laps. And we're approaching halfway quite quickly. And that's when people are going to start making pit stops, I believe. So this will be a lot of fun once we get there.
It's not just those guys you mentioned in that bottom lane. You also have Cody Goforth back there, points leader Ryan Caggiano, and Dylan Young, who's making the move to the Superstar Series next year. A lot of heavy hitters making their way to the front of the field now. And here comes Justin Hutchinson in this 11 car, trying to make a pass for the lead, and it looks like he will. Hutchinson had a strong run early in this Superstar Series race earlier this season at this track. He has 2 wins here in the Superstar Series. He loves this place, which is why he wanted to get in a Nitro National car, but his lead might not last long, because here comes Elijah Ironhouse. He's pretty good at the big speedways. Do not count...
in the middle, though.
No, not quite. Now he might, because here comes Cody Goforth with a big push from Caggiano.
Yeah, that was a tough situation. He had slid up the track a little bit there and got a little bit side drafted. Wasn't quite clear enough to drop low, and now Cody Goforth also stuck in the middle here. And it's been impressive that people have been able to kind of recover in the similar position after being stuck in the middle today. Usually when you get stuck in the middle, you're going all the way back, but today it's been a little bit different. It looks like just that the closer to the inside line you are in the corners, the better you're off, because having that shorter distance around the track is what's really going to matter. You're not getting any momentum from being on the outside like you typically would at a 1.5 miles like this. All it is making the track itself longer. So you want to try to stay on the bottom here, and we're 3 wide, a couple rows deep. Maybe some more people join that lane and get a 3rd lane going right here in the middle. I'm not sure if it'll work or how it'll work out.
Yeah, I don't know if this track is. I don't know if this track is wide enough to have 3 fully functioning lanes, but it's always food for thought in the series. As Logan Williams took the lead for a lap before giving way to AJ Jones, and here comes Miles Mashburn. He started 3rd in this race. Mashburn making a move back towards the front. He led lap 2, and now Jones led that lap, and here comes Mashburn with help from, it was Alex Vergepperud, now it's Nicky Martinez. They're 3 wide, 2 rows deep, with Mashburn clearly ahead of the field.
Yeah, this has been interesting. The last few laps, we've seen a lot of cars get kind of slide up the track and get stuck in that middle lane. I wonder if people are sliding up from the bottom because the tires are starting to wear a little bit in this one. You know, you're just having a little bit less grip than you did at the start of the race, and now you're not quite able to hold it at the bottom. I think that's been one of the key points of this race, is that whenever you do take the lead on the bottom, it becomes pretty difficult to hold it down there. So you're going all the way to the outside lane in the straightaways, whereas those other guys that are kind of in your draft were able to keep it on the bottom, and that is causing a lot of havoc for these drivers. I'm not sure anybody anticipated that being the case. However, Miles Mashburn has figured out a way to stay ahead of everybody here and kind of drag it single file. Meanwhile, we got 3 wide behind a little bit farther back.
Yeah, and pit stops are fast approaching. We're within 5 to 10 laps of those happening. And this is going to be very perilous for these guys as Nicky Martinez takes the lead. This is going to be very perilous for guys wanting to make green flag pit stops. Because getting from 200 miles an hour down the pit road speed at this place, that is a big challenge, because the other big speedways like Daytona and Talladega, you have a lot of space to get down the pit road speed. Not so much here. You have very little time to make that happen, as Tyler Ferris takes the lead for the first time today, as Jeff Walsh makes a challenge, but he's not going to make it. But yeah, pit road is going to be a big challenge today. And I fully expect if we're going to get a caution in this race, it may come during the green flag pit stops.
You're right, and part of it is because the way that this track usually races, you're actually braking in the corner, like coming out of the corner, you're on the brakes a little bit and turning low, right where the line kind of curves in right there. You're still in the turn when that pit road access lane kind of starts, the suggested line to run. So we'll see how these drivers deal with that, because, if you're in the middle of this group on the bottom lane, you are not going to be wanting to touch the brakes at all. You're going to want to try to get down maybe even on the back straightaway to try to make it happen. I'm sure that that's not how it'll be, but it is going to be tough. I'm excited to see how it plays out, though. I think that we might get some creativity, and maybe some carnage as well as they're coming into the pits.
Yeah, if I were going to make a green flag pit stop here, I'd drop way to the back before even thinking about coming in. As Ricky Freeman Jr. tries to take the lead from Santiago Alvarez now, if I were in this field, I would be going to the back on the backstretch, like you said, and then slow like pitting normally. Because if you're at the back, you got no one behind you to plow into the back of you. As Ricky Freeman Jr. takes the lead of the race. Remember, he came really close to winning this race in the spring. He led 40 laps that day. He did get his first career win last week at Bristol, led all 125 laps that day. Freeman's on a bit of a roll here. Could he go back-to-back in winning at Bristol and Las Vegas? Only time will tell, but he's got a lot of hungry challengers behind him, including Ryan Caggiano and the two Murder Dash Racing teammates of Williams and Lattimore. They run together 4th and 5th.
Yeah, so, well, they're not going to run together for much longer. Looks like they're both a little bit eager to kind of get moving along in this pack. But, yeah, I think you're right. You know, you're going to want to sacrifice that time that you lose by letting everybody kind of go by you on the outside lane on the back straightaway so that you can just not get run over going into the pits. It's going to be very dangerous if people start kind of pitting out of the middle of the pack. I'm sure it'll happen. But, you know, I would rather play the strategy move, make that pit stop, keep it clean, keep the car in the race, and try to beat everybody after what could possibly be a high likelihood of a caution or even farther after that. So we'll see what happens if there is no caution. This could spread out the field quite a bit from the pit stops, and in fact, we're starting to get a little bit spread out front. The 81 is pushing the 91, and they are driving away right now. So, it'll be interesting to watch once it starts to happen. I'm kind of surprised that nobody's done it yet. I think it's because you'll probably lose a lap when you do pit, and you don't want to get caught a lap down in case there's a yellow. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be very fascinating to watch what happens when these guys
we will see in due time when these pit stops occur. But right now, it is RFJ leading the way with Caggiano second. Corbett moves up to third. Mahendra and Terzic side by side for fourth. This is going to be very interesting. I feel like they're going to have to come in within the next lap or two to go to our far shot so we can keep an eye on the whole field at the same time. They're barreling off into turn 3, and the field is getting pretty strung out now. I fully expect a few to start coming in soon, and here they come. We see a few cars peeling off to pit here, and we got trouble. I see him in the back, and it looks like it's our pole sitter, Patrick Smith in the 04, and Lilith Onyx in the 36. The caution flag waves as we expected. But these two are going to be racing side by side for the lead, and we've had 5 cars hit the pit lane already. They are going to be in a very disadvantageous position because they're all going to lose at least, if not lose a lap, be stuck on the tail end of the lead lap because Caggiano and Freeman are about to lap all of them.
Yes, they are. Man, what a bad break for those guys who ended up in the pits. I guess that is why they were waiting so long. Because of how dangerous it was to possibly make that pit stop with a crash imminent. And it happened. They all waited until the last possible second to make that left turn into the pit lane. And you can see the skid marks there. They all just slid out of the way after they made some contact. So we'll get some replays for sure during this yellow flag sequence after everybody else makes their pit stops cleanly under the caution flag. But yeah, that was chaos.
It looks like, and here comes everybody else. They're going to make their pit stops under caution flag conditions, which is ideally the way you want to do it here. But it looked like the cars that were already on the pit lane and about to be lapped. It looked like they were the 86 of AJ Jones, 23 Logan Williams, the 01 of Cody Goforth, the 53 of Kenneth Grant, and I'm trying to identify that last car. I think it was a yellow one that was stuck back there, and as you saw them cycle their way past under the caution flag. 53 goes by, the 86 goes by. We'll get a look at who exactly got trapped in a moment, but we're going to keep an eye on. And Caggiano got held up in his pit by the 03 of DeLello coming in, so he's going to lose a lot of spots here on the pit exit because Ricky Freeman Jr. is now going to lead him off a pit road.
Yeah, so that's good for Ricky Freeman Jr. And of course, this is going to be a single file restart, so it's going to be solid for all these guys to
And it
maybe catch
was,
their breath a little
and
bit
it
here.
was Austin Holloman in the 59, the other car that went a lap down. So these 5 are in a bit of trouble here. What they need is to stay out in front of the leader, catch another quick yellow, and get back on the lead lap. But otherwise, it's going to be a big challenge for the rest of the night, especially with these guys in this position they're in. As we now take a look at what happened to Patrick Smith to bring out the caution. So I think what's going to happen is Lilith Onyx was one of the cars who was trying to come in the pit, and she just gets pinched off.
Middle lane.
Yeah, she got pinched off by Patrick Smith. That's, if you're going to make a pit stop, you want to be on the bottom. You don't want to have the crossover in front of traffic, and that is all said and done for Lilith Onyx and Patrick. Oh, and the 04 sideswipes the 36 out of desperation, try and stay on the lead lap. But for these two, there's not much really Patrick Smith could have done, and Lilith Onyx, I guess, could have waited an extra lap maybe, but it's just an unfortunate situation for everybody involved, and especially for the 5 cars that were already on pit road when this caution came out. And so you can see them, they're all in front of the leader, and they are going to have a lot of work to do. As you see, Smith and Onyx did not stay on the lead lap. They will be the first 2 cars 1 lap down, and you're right, this will be a single file restart. So what's going to happen now is Ricky Freeman Jr. is going to be your race leader, but he will be 6th coming to take the restart. Because you have Holloman, Williams, Goforth, Jones, and Grant that are going to be lining up ahead of him, tail end of the lead lap. They have the right to do this because they stayed out under the caution. What they're going to hope for is that a caution immediately comes out as soon as the green flag flies so they can get back on the lead lap. Because with the nature of the racing here at Las Vegas today, they are going to lose the lead lap pretty quickly if Freeman has anything to say about it. As the lights go out on the pace car now, we have 1 more lap to go to the restart.
Yeah, so this will be a fascinating situation on the restart because currently this field is the most spread out they've been all day. You have the double file start, and then everybody pretty much stayed double file with each other during that whole sequence of racing during the first half and then some of this race. So now you're faced with the situation of everybody being single file. What happens? Does everybody go to the bottom? Is the outside maybe going to be good through turn 1? We're just not quite sure yet. And of course, you have the wild card of these 5 cars that are in front of the leaders, and they're going to be desperately trying to stay ahead of everybody in case there is a crash as everybody kind of closes in on each other via the draft. So it's going to be an interesting restart. A lot of storylines to follow, but Ricky Freeman Jr., for him, all that matters is trying to stay in the lead here and pass all those guys before anybody else can. So we'll see what happens. I think that this could be very exciting very quickly.
And keep in mind, these are not slow cars ahead of the leader. A lot of them have led laps today. So, although you'd be hard pressed to find a majority of drivers who have not led yet today. But either way, these are fast cars. As the pace car pulls off, we're getting ready for the restart. Ricky Freeman Jr., 6th car in line. He is your race leader, and we are back underway here at Las Vegas, trying to get this race in clean for the rest of the way.
And there's a big movement. Everybody went straight to the bottom, so we'll see if anybody jumps to the top. Ricky Freeman Jr. going to the bottom of Grant right there. And we're going to see if he's able to make that spot happen. He will, so that's 1 of the lap cars behind. However, second place, number 66, is following closely. And look at this. They're already going double foul right here. You got Cody Goforth on the outside, that 53 car on the outside. So this is a fascinating situation. When does that outside lane start to form up and come in? And it looks like everybody's starting to go that way. And will there be a crash? Could everybody gaining a bunch of time on each other right here? The closing rate be quick enough to maybe have an accident and save these guys who are in the lead. But Ricky Freeman Jr. is going to take them 3 wide through the turns 3 and 4.
Because keep in mind, for Ricky Freeman Jr., these are challengers to his win. And he does not want them to stay on the lead lap. He wants to put them all a lap down and eliminate them from competition. But he watches up the track. That opens the door for Corbett. Not quite. Corbett stays in Freeman's tire tracks. But remember, we've got two cars off the pace now in the 04 and the 36. So they're lapping several seconds slower than the rest of the field. They will be lapped by the end of this race, and that will change the outcome, I'm sure.
Yeah, we have seen some issues with lap cars this season on races or on tracks where the racing is similar to this. You know, what happens is there's just not enough room for all these guys to go around those lappers, and it inevitably ends up holding up a lane. So we'll see what happens, who is able to get by, which lane gets held up by the lappers.
And you say there's not enough room, especially not at Las Vegas. In a place like Daytona or Talladega, there's plenty of space to spread out 3 and 4 wide. Not here. You've got 2 lanes that basically work, and if a lap car goes into one of them, that holds them up. And now we're back to where we were before the caution. Freeman leading, Caggiano second.
Yeah, so this is kind of an intense part of the race right now, because you really, really have to be ahead when those lap cars get to you, especially right here, because these first 4 or 5 that were single file just a moment ago before the move for the lead happened, you want to be single file when you catch the lapper so you can go to the lane that they aren't in. Now that everybody's double file, that's going to be a lot tougher. I would definitely want to be the leader as soon as you catch those lappers.
Here comes Eric Monaco. Never mind. Here comes Aaron Hall, putting Monaco 3 wide with Ricky Freeman Jr. All this is music to Ryan Caggiano's ears. He's got a big lead at the moment, as big a lead as you can expect here at Las Vegas. But here comes Aaron Hall, yet to win a race this season, surprisingly, for the 7 car. But this could be his day. He started outside pole. He's running pretty well now. Could this be the day? Next time they cross the line, we'll have 11 laps to go.
Yeah, Caggiano's looking really good out front right now, being able to hold off Aaron Hall. I'm not sure how much longer it'll last, but... Oh, and there's the 36 on the same straightaway as these guys, and they're going 2 wide.
And Patrick Smith directly ahead of her. So these guys are going to be in a lot of trouble, catching not 1 but 2 lap cars in the space of a few seconds here. Yep. And Onyx and Patrick Smith are well off the pace compared to these guys. Here comes Hutchinson to the inside of Hall for the lead here, with help from fellow superstar driver Sam Donotto and John McFadden. McFadden making his way back. Yep, here comes this 36. They are going to catch her right now.
Oh, boy.
Oh!
The outside, not enough! Oh, wow! There's contact between the 00 and the 36, trying to get to the bottom and not be held up by the lapper. However, there is another lap car coming. The outside lane gets held up by Onyx, and now the inside lane is going to get held up by the 04, at least for now, until they get to the straightaway. There's the big move. Everybody go to the bottom. My goodness, what a situation we have here.
And AF Walsh not so lucky. Yeah, AF Walsh not so lucky. He got stuck behind the 04 Smith, so a lot of trouble dealing with the lappers, but they are out of the way now. So Donotto now takes the lead of the race ahead of John McFadden. Some very unlikely challengers when this race began, but they're ready and raring to go here today, because Donotto started this race. He started
was in 6th to start.
But McFadden started 41st, and Ryan Arnold, who's about to pass McFadden, started 34th. So you can win, like we said at the top of the show, you can win this race from anywhere.
Yeah, you absolutely can. And right now, these 2 guys battling side by side for 2nd place believe that they have got possibly their best shot to win a race of the whole season right here, right in front of them. They can smell it. That checker flag just looming, only a handful of laps away. But they're all going to have to beat Sam Donotto, who's out front right now in that 00 car. It's a fast car every single week. We'll see how this plays out. And remember, for everybody else.
Remember, Donotto has the is tied for the most wins in this series all time with Alex Verget-Peru. But Donotto got all of his wins back when he was full time last year. This is one of his part-time appearances this season. He's looking to go out on top. It looks like we had another incident. No caution for this one, though. They're barreling it off, and it looks like it was Zane Grayson involved in this one in the 99. A lot of damage. They might end up lapping him by the time this race is over, as Kean Rivers goes for the lead.
Boy, yeah, that car is really slow. If he's not bringing it into the pits, that could be big trouble for these guys. I'm not even sure that he was going minimum speed. We'll see what happens with that. And of course, we're not exactly sure how it happened. We can see those skid marks, though. There he is, that 99.
Oh,
Really
they
slow.
they're absolutely going to catch him right here and right now.
No.
Rivers is the wall. A big crash.
Here.
The big one here at Las Vegas. A huge crash
goodness.
has taken out nearly the entire field. Oh, and Austin Holloman with a wild ride. Freeman hits him. Monaco on his roof. Everybody's in this big wreck. And who is the leader of the race? In all this madness coming to the line, who is the race leader?
It could be over here.
It's Rasha Mahendra in the 6th, looking for his first career win. Logan Williams, his day is done. Elijah Ironhouse with a lot of damage. Kyle Corbett coming to the pit lane. Justin Hutchinson with a lot of damage. Kean Rivers, he was just about to take the lead when that happened.
Wow.
A lot of cars are taking out. David Wells out of the race. Austin Holloman, Eric Monaco, and Ricky Freeman Jr. was having such a good day today. But you're right, this race could be over as a result of this. We only have 4 laps to go.
These drivers need to. I'm shocked to see so many of the damaged cars pitting. I think if you stay out on the track, you're going to get a better finishing position here. I don't think that this race will go back green. And Mahendra, wow, a very lucky situation. Perfect place at the right time for this 6 car. Rolling around the track right now on lap 65. Might be staring down first win of the season.
First win of his career, and the first win ever for Motor Dash Racing. We knew they'd get one eventually, but who would have expected Mahendra being the one to get it? As we now look at all these cars, they are pulling back out onto the racetrack. That is a good sign. You see Shantley Daniel with a big donut on the side of his car. A lot of cars torn up, but the few survivors make their way around the track. Zachary DeLello in a good spot. And how about the BTB Motorsports teammates of McFadden and Byers? Neither one have gotten the top 10 finish this season. They're both going to get top 5s the way this runs right now.
If they are going to go green in this race, the lights on the pace car have to go off as they cross the line this time.
I don't see it happening. They got a lot to clean up on the back straightaway. This might be it right here.
I would assume so as well. There's just too much debris everywhere, too much damage. They haven't even allowed everybody to come down in the pit lane yet. Of course, it might be this lap. I doubt to see anybody pit here.
No chance. They're good to go on fuel. They've got the tires they need. Yep. And you're right. If the pace car doesn't turn its lights out as it crosses the start-finish line, this race will be over, and Rashi Mahendra will be getting his first career win. We'll check to see the pace car right here. The lights. Oh, they stay on. This race is going to end under the caution flag, and Rashi Mahendra, what a break for him. He's swept through the carnage to get his first presumably get his first career win. So it all started with Zane Grayson. He was just ready to get lapped. Mahendra was in the perfect spot, but nobody else was able to make it through this. Everybody piles into this wreck in some shape or form. Oh, Austin Holloman with a huge shot. Right, huge shot by David Wells, and then they just keep piling in. This is the danger of racing at Las Vegas at these speeds and in this kind of pack racing. Everybody gets piled in. Oh, and Lattimore gets tagged by Hayes Green. They were both having great runs today. All for naught here at Las Vegas. We're closing in on the end. This race will not restart, but for these guys, came too little too late for them. One more look at this. Zane Grayson. He comes off. He's got nowhere to go, honestly. Oh, and it was his teammate Rivers that hit him there. Oh, my goodness. And his other teammate, Holloman. This is a nightmare for Phantom Fury Motorsports. Oh, and look at all these cars.
How fast you're coming into this crash. That's just incredible. Nobody was on the brakes right there.
They had no time. They had no time. They were rocketing by at 200 miles per hour. No time to slow down. And for all these cars, it's game over at Las Vegas. So close to the end. But for Rashi Mahendra, this could be his big day. He's got half a lap to go under the caution flag, and this race is his.
Yeah, all you have to do here is just stay at pace, stay on the track, and this thing is absolutely yours. Man, oh man. They had kept. Oh my goodness! Engine problem.
Heartbreak for Rashi Mahendra. He might be able to hold on to this as long as he can keep pace ahead of Santiago Alvarez. I don't think he's going to do it, though.
He's on the 8. He's cutting the track a ton right now. It may be able to stay, but if he comes into the pits, this thing is...
He has to. He's dumping oil behind him. He's dumping oil. This race is over for Rashi Mahendra. Heartbreak for the rookie out of Indonesia. On pace for his first career win. That is over. But for Santiago Alvarez, right place, right time for car number 98, and after all the chaos that is unfolded in the final 5 laps, it is going to be Santiago Alvarez coming across the line to get his first career win in the 1UP Nitro National Series. Alvarez wins at Las Vegas. Ryan Arnold second, a heartbreak in the truest form for Rashia Mahendra. His race and his hopes of his first career win go up in smoke on the final lap under caution. He just pushed that engine too hard.
You know, when we were watching this race the whole time, I was thinking, man, there is no way this race doesn't come down to a final lap pass. And then the caution came out. I was thinking, man, oh man, we're not going to get a final lap pass. And it turns out we did. My goodness, what a change of events. Just a horrible circumstance for the 6 car. Maybe ran over something and, well, he was kind of ahead of the crash. So I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, it's just amazingly tragic for him. John McFadden gets a career best finish in 3rd. David Byers, Kasim Adnam, they all get career best finishes in the top 5. Zachary DeLello, he comes home 6th. He will lock himself into the playoffs with that run. Todd Hemmler, another good run for him in 7th. Joshua Michaels 8th. Terzic locks himself into the playoffs with a 9th place finish. Miles Mashburn runs at the top 10. So while there's joy and jubilation in the 98 pit for Santiago Alvarez, there is heartbreak and fury at Moto Dash Racing for Rashia Mahendra, who had this race in the bag. He just had to make it half a lap more, but the engine just would not hold for him.
Yeah, the whole race was just absolutely incredible, and they kept it so clean for so long today. They did a great job driving, and then an impossible circumstance there that brought out that yellow. Nobody could avoid it. Everybody was piling in. Just a terrible situation for a lot of race teams that prepared great cars today. And then at the end, for Mahendra, the gearbox failure. Oh, man, 23rd place after leading under caution at the white flag. Just total heartbreak. But hey, that's just you put yourself in that situation enough times, and eventually you will get one of them that goes your way. So wow, just an incredible race today here at Las Vegas. And what a thing we have all witnessed today. You never quite know what's going to happen in the Nitro National Series.
So from Duke Ainsack and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Las Vegas. We'll see you next week at Old Spice Speedway for the regular season finale. But congrats to Santiago Alvarez. Right place at the right time. A first-time winner in the Nitro National Series here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.